This is a certain method for solving division problems that's going to be really helpful for us as we start getting into more difficult problems. This is called the box method. Okay, this is just a template that we can use, but we don't need to use the template to use the box method. I'll show you how to do that later on your own. But for now, I want you to look at this box method. Think of when we write a division problem like this, 12 divided by 3. This is the same thing. It's just that instead of writing it like that, we actually just draw a box and the 12 would go like this and the 3 would still be on the outside right there. It's just basically it's a box instead of that little tent thing, okay? So that's what I want you to imagine as you're solving these problems. So first I'm going to show you where everything goes. Just like we said, your total, that goes here. Think of the total. When you're doing like 12 divided by 3, 12 is your total. That goes here. 3 goes right here. So remember, I always say total divided by number of groups, that's here, equals number in each group. And that answer goes on the top. So everything on the top is the number in each group. Or another word for that is the quotient. So we have our dividend here, the total. The divisor is here, number in each group, and I'm sorry, number of groups. And the quotient on the top, that is the number in each group. So let me show you an example of how we could use this. Let's start with 48 divided by 2. The first thing I do is I try to divide the 4 into 2 groups. 4 into 2 groups. I can do that. 4 divided by 2 equals 2, so I write it on the top. The next thing I do is I move to my ones and I do 8 divided by 2. 8 divided by 2, I already know, is 4. Okay, and it worked out perfectly. There's no remainder because it divided evenly. So we could write remainder 0, or we could just leave it blank because the answer would be 24. Okay, that was so nice and easy. It's not always going to be like that. It's not always going to be that easy. So I'm going to show you what I mean by that. Let's do another example. Let's try one like this. How about 62 divided by 4? I'm just thinking of one off the top of my head. Okay, so first I would say, what is 6 divided by 4? Uh-oh, I can't do that. I can't do 6 divided by 4, can I? So instead, I need to put a number up here that's basically saying how many 4s can I fit into 6? How many 4s can I fit into 6? I could fit 1 4 into 6 because that would equal 4. 4 times 1 is 4, so I could do that. Could I fit 2 4s into 6? 4 times 2 is 8. That's too many. I could not do that. I could only fit 1 4 into 6. So that part was the dividing. I can only fit one of them. The next step is to multiply. When I say multiply, I mean these two numbers right here. Basically, I'm saying how many did I do? It was 4 times 1. Just one group of 4 is what I fit into 6. I fit one group of 4. So 1 times 4 is 4. I write it right down here because the next step, this is really important, I'm going to subtract. So I multiplied and I wrote the number. Now I'm going to subtract like this, right here in the box. So I would do 6 minus 4. 6 minus 4 is 2. The next thing I do is bring it on up. So what I mean by that, watch, I'm going to take an arrow just like this, and I'm going to draw my arrow up to the next box. And I'm going to write this too right here, okay? Because think about this. We had 2 10s left over that we couldn't divide. So I'm just bundling them into my ones, my wee ones house over here. I think this is the wee ones house, right? So I just bundled them over, I unbundled them, right? So I had 20 little ones and I already had 2 little ones right there. So 20 ones and 2 ones is 22 ones. So now I'm ready to start the process all over again. But this time I'm dividing over here. So I would say How many 4s can I fit into 22? Here's a great method if you're not sure. Write it on the side. Just think about it. 4 times what is going to give me something close to 22? Let's try 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16. So I could do that. I could do that, but I might be able to do better. What's 4 times 5? 4 times 5 is 20. Oh, that would still fit because that's less than 22. So I could do 5 groups of 4. Could I do 6 groups of 4? 6 groups of 4 is 24. Ooh, too big. I can't do that. Nope, not gonna. So my answer then would be this one, 4 groups of 5. 4 groups of 5 can fit. I write my 5 right here because that's how many I got right there. So then we would do the next step, which is multiply. 4 times 5, I just said that right here. We write that underneath because then we are going to subtract. So we divided, then we multiplied, and now we're subtracting. 22 minus 20. So it would just be 2, okay? So now the problem is I have 2 little ones that didn't fit into my 4 groups, right? We've talked about this. I have 2 little ones and they didn't fit. So that just means that they're my remainder. That's okay. So I'm writing an arrow like this, and I write my remainder right there next to the R. So that means that 62 divided by 4 equals 15 remainder 2.